what might just be our best matchup of the day. Well, that's hard to say because, let's face it, every time Maru is going to be played, it's potentially going to be a great matchup. But this one especially, I think, could be awesome. In the top right-hand side, our blue Terran player from Onside Gaming, Maru. Bottom left, our red Protoss player is from Storm, MaxPax. In one of this best of 3 series, let's see what the hell goes down. Already, MaxPax forward pylon means that any Zealot, etc. will just get across the map that much sooner, that much more quickly. So that's already one little notable little something just to kind of keep in mind, to keep an eye on. As that probe continues around the bottom side of the map, keeps moving around here. And all the rest of it. Chillwin Jedi, thank you so much. 66-month resub, also has a resub left over. Hell yeah! Getting the hype going, getting the hype building up for this. Again, should be awesome series. Very excited. I really am. Since the start of today, I kind of eyed this one up. I was like, I really hope we get there. And then obviously we just had an insane PvP to get to this as well. Had our hearts pumping. We maybe didn't even fully believe we were going to get Maru MaxPax for a little bit, but we got there in the end, and here we go. Now we get to enjoy these games. Very exciting, guys. Very, very exciting. Barracks from Maru is not really too weird at all. So that part is just going to be nice and standard for the moment. As SCV goes nibbling on the probe and just continues to push that around. I'm just trying to see a little bit of what else we can get up to. As a fact, kid, thank you so much for the 500 bits. Going to kickstart a little hype train as well. Why the hell not? Because let's face it, this is a hype matchup. If there ever is a time for a hype train, I'm down for a bean right now. Seems good to me. Nexus on the way up. And as the Nexus comes on through, just going to be seeing our Adept Chrono boosting out as well. So just continue to bring that into play for a few moments here. Obviously, Nexus continues to come around. And yeah, just going to be seeing a battery coming into play. Factory coming online. CC coming up. Vault Gate is continuing through as well. So still just a little bit of everything being brought up for now. As we get this game fully established in these early stages. There's the Twilight that we're so used to seeing from MaxPax. It's very possible he just 4-gate blinks. We know he likes that. It's actually a pretty good map for it. No ramp on the natural. As well as that access to the main base being pretty reasonable as well. So I would say that's absolutely an option here. 100% a pretty decent choice that we could get to. As Adept is going to go pushing that Reaper around, which was obviously just looking for some scouting information. Nothing too ridiculous about that. But just getting a little bit of scouting up and running as we do. Knock a Reaper just a little bit. Adept just going to be chilling here. Obviously just trying to pick up its own information. Maru expanding high ground, being extremely safe. Not messing around, honestly. As the Reaper going to grab that final shot off the Adept is going to go down. Unfortunately for him, he does not have any more scouting left in him. Yeah, MaxPax is trying to pick up whatever info you can. Sees the barracks has been on this reactor the entire time, for example, is already very good information. You know, this is the kind of information you can work with, right? This is the kind of information you can make work, so... Yeah, just picking up on a little bit of this here and there. There's a couple of Adepts still hanging around on the ramp. Marines going to come forward again, and it's going to see our SCVs pulling back towards this natural where the Adept's still just going to threaten, and it's obviously nice because the Adepts can kind of force some units to stay home because they can threaten to come by every time. However, the Widow Mine Drop is moving across the map. Our first Stalker warping on this natural. Mine Drop's actually coming from a bit of a fun direction, kind of from the center. So maybe not the kind of typical direction you expect it to be in. We'll see if that can land Maru any extra surprise factor. He's going to come in from pretty much somewhere MaxPax has zero vision of, directly through the center of this main base. We do recall the Adepts into the mains. Is going to be the perfect place for them to show up. And they get rid of one mine at least? No, and we're going to lose potentially both Adepts. Or a bunch of probes. I don't think MaxPax was ready for this at all. This really did catch him a little bit off guard, and I really think that is just down to it coming in from such a weird direction. Like, dead on through the middle of the map. He has that unit... was it just a pylon? Yeah, this probe is in the corner, literally watching for the heads up on this Widow Mine. So it's showing up here. It just takes... Suddenly he's like, it's a panic. He's like, wait, what? It's here already? No way. Like, that has just caught him off guard that little bit, right? So... Well, a couple extra racks coming through. Bunkers coming up. Engineering bay is about to finish. And we do have our Marines just pulling back towards the ramp for a few moments. Prism still moving forward. And we do have ourselves the bunker set up. The barracks on the way. This attack is apparently being led by the Autosalope as well. So that's just going to lead the charge in. A distraction. Oh, look, something cute. Bam! Stalkers in your face. As the bunker will go down. The siege tank is helping to hold, though, and making sure that this entry point is not abused too much further on the side of MaxPax, and I don't think MaxPax is going to find too much else here just yet. Now, a tank going to pull up to the high ground again. Prism will unload a few more of these stalkers and just keep on dancing in a couple different directions. SCVs keep on dropping. 4 workers go down. 5 workers go down. We're going to make it 6. This is where MaxPax does finally find some damage. He wants to get something done, of course, when you commit into 4 gateways. This is going to be the beginning of that, as he does now clean up these widow mines. More damage taken. Of course, he had work to do with some damage taken earlier in this game as well, but I'm going to go ahead and say that that is not as bad as it could have been. As our medevac continues now to the upper right-hand side, Prism warps in a handful of additional stalkers, and this attack is really setting up to keep on going. Stalkers look like they're going to hop into the main base in just a couple of moments. Here we go, first few stalkers. I mean, this bunker will go down. Not sure how much more opportunity there is. The tanks are now in position, but good to get in and test the waters at the very least and have a little look-see as to what you might be able to get done. Stalkers are back around the back of this mineral line, and if we still have a few Marines coming over, the Prism again is just going to be pushed away a little bit. As Stalkers jump forward, they're going to get rid of this bunker. It will go down. Auditors try and help defend. I just feel like this is costing MaxPax a lot. You can see it, right, that this is a lot of Stalkers that have been going down kind of throughout here. 7 Stalkers killed this game. Prism in the main doesn't get anything else going either. Maru is really starting to hold on in every single direction. And that is working out pretty nicely for him here, as we do have, at this stage, well, Stim and Combat Shield not far away, so we're going to have our bio upgrades in play. The bio army is going to be better than it's been up until this point. This is obviously amazing as well. As the Stalker's still kind of chilling just a little bit out in the center too. Trying to see just a bit more of what else can go down as our Stalkers will ping their way through the depot. He's coming over. Prism chased away again. Here comes the army through the center of the map. Marines, tank, the Raven. By force. Oh, it feels like that should have been a Raven kill there for MaxPax, right? Getting rid of the Raven is huge. It provides so much utility to the Terran army. You want to get rid of it. We all know this. That was absolutely an opportunity for MaxPax. He has so much energy on that Nexus too, by the way. That's kind of wild. Just so much energy available. With full energy, I mean, that's Chrono Boost he's missed out on, potentially. Now, this has been way too expensive for MaxPax. 1k resources lost more than his opponent. Currently left in our set of Stalkers. Doesn't even have charge. The next stage of this Maru's push is going to start coming through. And there was moments where MaxPax did some damage. But remember that he took damage early as well from those first Widow Mine drops. And for him, it was almost more playing catch-up the entire time. And even then, he never really caught up. And you're going to see the effect of that now as Maru just has way too much. Tanks in a great position. Widow Mines are zoning beautifully. Anti-armor missile will strike. Stalkers will be falling. The bio will just crush this army. And we're going to go to a game 2 with Maru in the lead 1-0. This GG was all but decided already, as Maru will indeed go 1-0 up. Top left-hand corner, our blue Terran player from Onside Gaming. Currently up 1-0, and looking to keep it that way. It is going to be Maru up against a Red Protoss in the bottom right-hand side from Storm, MaxPax. Game 2 of our series. As apparently jump on the official observer's view just as they do the intros. So we're just gonna do the epic zoom-ins again. They're still the same players. They still have the same names as when I just did it a moment ago, guys. Don't worry. How did MaxPax lose that game? He took 6 probes to the first Widow Mine drop, and then he also just didn't do enough with 4 Gateblink Stalker, very late third base, no tech. Generally means you die when the Terran has any amount of bio units. TLDR. going to be seen our Pro B, just continuing to come across the map. And yeah, having a little bit of a scout over, Cybercore, Zealot, all being brought in as we just have ourselves a few moments of setup, a few moments of build up here. Obviously, Maru was extremely safe last time as well, from, against the low ground gateway. He went into that high ground command center and everything, just taking every precaution possible to guarantee seeing a later stage of the game, which really, I think, to me, sort of sets the precedent of what he expects of this series, which is like, hey, this guy's going to be aggressive. This guy's going to probably try and attack me. I want to do my absolute best to make sure I can negate, as much of that as possible. So, yeah, just making sure he got to the next stage of the game, making sure he got to see, round 2 of this battle, basically. And once he got there, he really was convincing once he'd held on, right? He pushed straight across the map, and kind of meant to in that scenario, but again, the way he played initially allowed those kind of things to come through at first as well, so definitely plays a helping hand. Yo, Zitz85, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the family. Guys, replays such as Maru vs. MaxPax will be available to subscribers on our subscriber channel in the Discord as well, so if you're looking for a reason to subscribe here on Twitch, let that be one of them. I want to really dive in deep on how Maru plays defense against the 4-gate Blink or anything else. Doing a replay pack in the fairly near future. Actually, we've got some games lined up to go in there once the Spring Championship wraps up this weekend. Adept gets a shot off Hellion, takes some hits. So we see Adept kind of coming up onto the ramp a little bit, just seeing a bit of what's going on. Reaper shows up, but doesn't get anything. One probe goes down this game. Okay, not too bad. So one probe goes down. I'm just going to be seeing our warp gate still ticking along as well, quite nicely. Again, just a few moments of everything kind of coming through. Getting set up and seeing where we end up. A Phoenix coming across the sides as well, after Marine's still on the front. So you can see this Phoenix moving into the main. We do have the Cyclone about halfway done. Robo facility still producing, the assimilators are still building. And Phoenix also still, I mentioned before. Just continuing through for the moment, getting ourselves nicely set here at the start of this game. Phoenix will provide a lot of scouting. Obviously, different approach from MaxPax with the Phoenix. Probably Phoenix to losses, of course, is the expectation. The Robo facility is already coming through. Very safe way to build up into 3 bases. Really looking toward a much more macro-focused game. The Phoenix, fantastic at shutting down a lot of the initial aggression as well, so that's always pretty good too. These are all things we can kind of watch out for here. Over the next little while, as the Phoenix try to get a Cyclone, now comes to the lib. Not really too successful at all, honestly, so nothing really being gained on that one. It's going to be seen our Cyclone coming through again, getting a lock on. Phoenix still getting chased back just that little bit, so a bit more damage being dealt right here. Phoenix still chilling overhead and seeing what else they can maybe bring to the table. Obviously, this push from Maru now starting to get a little bit serious again, so actually starting to have a real serious kind of push on the go. See how this ends up, as we do have the Marines dealing out just that little bit of damage and trying to really up this round. The Widowmine goes off from the Phoenix, which will lift the tank. The Marines get back there, though, to protect, so I can't imagine that is necessarily going to be something you want to stick around for here. Marine's still getting hit. The Widowmine's still taking a shot. Marines are retreating home with the medevac as well, so we continue back in that direction for the moment. Looking to see where we end up. A couple of SCVs go down, so the Phoenix at least able to get themselves a couple of kills towards the end, but again, this just... And you look at it all and you get a full cleanup. with everything cleaned out, it's a lot of resources lost from Maru. And as you clean up all of that, you put yourself in a pretty good position here then as a Protoss player. So it gives MaxPax definitely an advantage here early on in this game number 2 of our best of 3. Extra racks from Maru, 3rd CC on the way. Still looking to just macro out of this, not looking to do something super crazy like, you know, fully send it on 2 bases or anything. So I think that's pretty important to note. The Phoenix still just chilling out overhead, and we're not going to be having ourselves, again, just the opportunity now as they've cleaned up that main army to just keep on going with absolutely full power here. CC going to move across, is going to land down on position, and we do have our Twilight Council building now, extended thermal lance coming up. 2 Colossus, well, a Colossus coming forward. We're going to lift one siege tank straight away. Maru is not even going to take the fight. He knows he's in trouble based on what's happened up until this point, and that's going to be GG's game 2. We're going to game 3. MaxPax and Maru tied 1-1. Number 3, we have got ourselves in the bottom right-hand corner. Blue Terran Per, still an absolute beast. It is going to be Maru from Onside Gaming. In the upper left, our Red Protoss from Psystorm is going to be MaxPax tying this series up, taking us to game 3 here. Can he close it out to move into another semi-final of this Kung Fu Cup? This is a tournament he's been very comfortable in. This season, he's really been just very good in a lot of these. Won some, top 4 a lot of the time. Barracks in the front, just going to be seeing our gateway come the way through, a simulator coming out as well. Nothing too wild just yet, no low ground, anything from anybody. No proxies, no hidden barracks. Plain and simple to start up game 3. That's how we like to keep it. Well, actually, sometimes we like to mix it up. Sometimes we kind of like the chaos and the madness and everything, but now, this is how we like to keep it. Marine on the way out of this barracks as well, so brings this one through. Orbital on the way, Cybercore and the Nexus continuing on out, and Probe is just going to be locked out, so there is an interesting part of this. Because this is single gas. When you get locked out like this, you often feel as though it's double gas, because there's no need for Terran to put this depot down so soon. So this CC coming out nice and quickly. Yeah, definitely just gets a little bit interesting, right? Definitely gets just a little intriguing. These early stages. Tagged, thank you so much for the 37-month resub. The 12th prime number, the 3rd prime without a twin pair, so it's not a twin prime. It's the sum of the squares of the first 37 prime. Oh, the sum of the squares of the first 37 primes is divisible by 37. Wild. I will read the rest later on. I want to make sure we focus up a little bit, though, for our Maru MaxPax series. It's going to be seeing our factory still coming along. Extra gates coming up from MaxPax, actually, so he's going to play 3 gates before anything else, which is going to allow him to put on a lot of pressure, and I really feel as though he's almost expecting this to be some amount of, you know, commitment to an attack from Maru initially, when Maru is actually just kind of setting up the expand, so it's a very safe way to play as MaxPax, but not just very safe, it just gives you a lot of units, and usually, sometimes you're like, oh, maybe I can counterattack with this and so on. He does have that proxy gate up. Just not sure if that's going to matter so much when obviously you've got yourself the full wall off here as Maru, the high ground CC. Like, he doesn't need to rush to the low ground. Definitely feel like that's part of the question mark kind of around what's going on here. Let's see if MaxPax can do enough with this. Maru is going to take a CC to the low ground for the moment. 3 Marines, the Hellion joining up at the front, the Siege Tank and Medevac on the way. I think if Maru just doesn't move on the map, he should be okay. I mean, you know, basically attacking right now with less army supply here as MaxPax. 3 Adepts, one-shotting Marines is a huge deal because the one-shot allows you to really take this fight where otherwise you would not have been able to. That Stalker, oh my goodness, taking a lot of damage there. We take one more Marine out, now one more. Now there's no Marines left, so MaxPax does so much. Just the power of being able to one-shot with those Adepts went so far for him. Siege tank is now set up. You have a Hellion back on this other side. Not sure how much that will do as the Stalkers start coming in. I'm not sure we can go dive in a Siege tank, but we can control this natural. And if we can control this natural, maybe we can just go from there and get some more damage done. And just try and delay. But in the end, Maru is able to move his tank a bit further up. The Siege tank is now going to cover the natural entrance, and I think that will just mean that we chill out here for a few moments. Stalker's going to come back in. SCVs get to the repairing. A couple of Stalkers are going to go down at the very least. Oh, the other one actually survives. Got out of range of the high ground tank just at the last moment. And again, now a few SCVs are going down. Now we've killed off a Siege tank. Right now, you're making things uncomfortable for Maru, who is not having the greatest of times. This tank moves forward. Now he gets some shots off. Blink over halfway done from MaxPax, as Maru has the most unfortunate of drops. Like 3 Marines is... It's not very exciting, man. It's just not very exciting, is it? No, is the answer to that. It is just straight up not exciting at all. Well, he does get 3 probes, though, so maybe don't hate on everything that you see. He's only had 5 probe kills, my goodness. How? Oh my god, he gets 6. That's actually straight up ridiculous. How did the 3 Marine drops get 6 probes? Max's supply is cut away at here. Now we're making some serious progress back into this game. That actually is a pretty big deal, I would say. Wow. Okay. Stalker's still chilling out on the bottom side. You see Maru units on that natural as well. Going to siege up a couple of these tanks. The Raven's still overhead. Stalker's going to blink forward. Insta-kill on tank 1. Goes for the Raven. Now doesn't have enough Stalkers to insta-kill tank 2, but he gets the tank 2 and the Raven. In the end, costs you quite a lot of Stalkers, though. I wonder if MaxPax could have had a way to make that a little bit better for him. I wonder if just killing the second tank first would have been better, because the Raven dropped the auto turret anyway. And in this scenario, you likely would have been able to chase the Raven, into the base, so it wouldn't have been that problematic. Stalkers continue to fight. A few SCVs are pulled. Marines just do not have upgrades to really make them competitive here. Obviously not a Marauder in sight. New Siege tank pops out, but Maru has lost his tech unit so many times in this game. It's a flip from that first game where just the resources lost was a 1k difference. That time it was for MaxPax. This time it was in Maru's favor. Now it's in MaxPax's favor in the main base. Nothing to stop these few Stalkers getting some more SCVs. Maru's economy is disappearing, and I think Maru in general is going to be disappearing from this series. I think we're going to have ourselves a MaxPax in the semi-finals of the Kung Fu Cup today, because this is starting to look straight up unholdable. A few more probes are going down across the map. The Liberator is the cause. Takes a while to get a warp in just because we were busy with other things going on. But I do think we're getting to a stage where, realistically, this is going to get kind of rounded out. Stalkers continue to fight. The few Marines pulling in, trying to see what else they can get up to, see if it's going to be enough. $29 dead SCVs really should just kind of tell you the tale of what has gone down here, and pretty much just set the scene for where we are currently at. Stalkers continue to fight, putting some extra damage in. Just going to be seeing the SCVs have to go running a little bit. Obviously, just now at this point, MaxPax is controlling whatever area he moves into. There's nothing that's slowing him down. There's nothing that's stopping him. And that is going to be game. That is going to be series. MaxPax with all the aggression here in Game 3 to knock down Maru and to move himself into the semi-finals.